Miss Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time we have the Star Wars The Black Series Resistance Trooper. So this I believe is from the third wave of Black Series figures. I'm a little confused as to what wave what is from, but I believe that wave 3 consists of mostly repacks, but with the Resistance Trooper and with the TIE Fighter pilot. I was able to find this along with the TIE Fighter pilot at Walmart. So here we go. Alright, so here's a figure. So this was a figure that, originally I did plan to get, and then, closer to when it was going to be released, I decided just not to get it. They're really, not even in the movie. You can spot Resistance Troopers like this with this helmet on and everything, but they're just really background characters, so I didn't plan to get it, but by the time I saw them in stores, I was just kind of, ready to buy a Black Series figure, so I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and get it, and I did. And the figure is pretty decent. So, first of all, let's just go over this head sculpt. As you can see, just the helmet on top of the head is quite nice. It's done like a almost like a reddish tan type of color, and it does have scrapes and like a yellowish kind of wash to it to give it that battle damage used type of look. Overall, it looks pretty good. I do like the visor. It is a translucent yellowish green plastic, and it is quite translucent too, so you can see the face underneath. And as you can see, they didn't just, sculpt this helmet. They do actually have a face sculpted underneath. Obviously, it is just a nameless person, because, there was no actual named Resistance Trooper in the movie. They're all just they're all just random background people. But you do have a guy under there, and you can lift up the visor like I just showed you. It would have been nice if you could just remove the entire helmet, and that would be cool for customs, because then people could take different head sculpts from different characters and pop it on this body, and then just put the helmet over it, and then you can have multiple different Resistance Troopers. Face sculpt is quite nice. Obviously, I can't say how good it is compared to the actor, because this is just a random person, but overall it looks like a person, so the face sculpt is pretty decent, and it does look like it's painted quite well, and the strap to the actual skin looks pretty good. It doesn't look like there's any mispaints in there or anything like that, and you can't remove the visor. Of course, the visor does have to stay on even with the mask flipped up. Overall, nice head. Going over the body, as you can see, pretty standard costume. I do like the wrinkles and everything. It does seem to look like, a realistic costume. I think Black Series is pretty good about that. And it does look quite nice, and there is a lot of nice wash to it. It's kind of like a light tan, but with a brown kind of wash into it. The pants are just brown. I can't tell. There might be a little bit of black wash, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're mostly just brown there. And then the boots are more in line with the color of the actual outfit, where they're kind of like a tan with black wash into it. He does come with a gun. It's a very similar weapon that came with the Finn, as well as the Poe Dameron Resistance 2-pack, with the Riot Trooper, although I do believe that it is a completely new gun. I could be wrong on that. It's definitely not Finn's gun, but it could just be a repaint of that Poe Dameron's gun, but I don't think it is. So, assuming it's not, it does look quite nice, and the paint is decent. It's a gray, and it's really dull gray with some, I don't know, almost like a burgundy, like a dark red, maybe a little bit of brown kind of washed into the middle of it. So I would have definitely liked it to be more of a silver or more of a gunmetal gray instead of just this really dull gray. And then, the brown type of coloring wash that they have in it is nice, but they should have done it up here too and at the stock. It's just in the middle section that they actually have the wash in there. And he does have his right hand meant to hold the weapon, and his left hand is just kind of like a relaxed palm. I do have him displayed where he's holding the weapon though, so that's why it's kind of, his hand is pretty open. It's really hard to get him to hold the gun with two hands like this, to have the stock under his arm like it should be. It's extremely difficult. If you want to do it to where it's on the outside of his arm, then that's how you can have him hold the weapon with both hands. It looks nice. I just wish that it would have been, that this could have fit under his arm a little bit better. I think without these straps here, it would have fit a little better, and you could probably have him hold the gun with two hands while having the back piece underneath his arm. Overall, a nice sculpted figure and pretty well painted. Articulation is pretty decent. It's, standard Black Series. He has a ball hinge head. Let's see here. The hinge goes up actually quite far, which is quite nice. A little unexpected there. He has ball hinge shoulders, hinge swivel elbows. The hinge works pretty nicely. It is a solid 90-degree hinge. Sometimes, like with the Stormtroopers, they don't hinge a full 90 degrees, but this one does, which is good. He has a swivel waist, which seems to be extremely stiff on mine. I'm not quite sure why that is the case. He has a ball jointed hip, a little bit hindered by the little skirt area here. This is about as far up as you can go. Like, the skirt is soft plastic, but it's so short that it doesn't have a lot of room to be pliable. So it is still going to hinder the articulation quite a lot there. So he can go out, a decent amount this way, but forward it is a bit more hindered, but you can still get some good poses. Double hinge knees and then hinge pivoting ankles. So articulation is pretty decent. It's, of course, standard Black Series. His costume hinders his articulation a bit in some places, but for the most part doesn't really hinder it too much. Alright, let's give you a quick comparison with some other Black Series figures. Here he is with the TIE Fighter pilot, which I believe is from the same wave as him, and then I'll throw in one from the next wave, Asti. I did find these, I found the Resistance Trooper at a Walmart, and then I went to another Walmart after that and was able to find the TIE Fighter pilot and the Asti figure. They didn't have the Resistance pilot there, though, so I'm a little confused what wave these guys are from, obviously. I know that the Resistance Trooper is not from the wave with Asti and General Hux. I'm a little confused whether the TIE Fighter pilot comes with Asti and General Hux, or if he comes with the Resistance Trooper. I'm not quite sure about that, but here they all are together. As you can see, the Resistance Trooper is the shortest of them. His legs are slightly spread out, but even having them together, he is still a bit shorter than them, which is fine. I mean, it looks like he's in a decent scale. All right. So this Star Wars The Black Series Resistance Trooper figure is quite nice. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody who's just a casual fan or collector of the Black Series. It's mainly going to be for people who have a nice, a little bit of an army of Stormtroopers, and they just want to display the Stormtroopers in some sort of battle pose with somebody else. This is a perfect good guy, just random good guy for you to have your Stormtroopers to fight. You can obviously army build these, and because of the helmet, they don't look all the same, at least. It would have been nice if the helmet was removable, so you could switch the heads out and then put a helmet on. That would have been nice to have it look like more of a diverse army, but it's going to work very nicely for anybody who just wants to army build this guy purely to have the Stormtroopers, have somebody to fight. So wouldn't recommend this to the general crowd. Even for me, it's really not one that I needed or necessarily am super glad I got. It's fine, and it's another addition to my Black Series collection. I basically have all of the Black Series figures, so I'm fine getting it purely on a completist standpoint, but the figure itself is nothing too special, and that mainly is because the character is nothing too special from the movie. So there you go, that's my review of the Star Wars The Black Series Resistance Trooper, Thanks so much for watching.